Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another weather forecast, my friends. My name is Andrew Heischman. Now, for today, we got ourselves a few things that we need to discuss here regarding the upcoming weather. We have ourselves some activity in the tropics that we're actually watching here. We're also going to talk about the upcoming severe weather threats for the next couple of days, and we'll also take a look in the extended models here just to kind of see if we have anything else coming up here, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, my friends, if you are new to the channel, consider leaving a like and hitting that subscribe button. It's good to have you here. And without further ado, my friends, let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Alrighty, everybody, so taking a look here at the satellite imagery, my friends, here, as of this morning, we have ourselves a complex storm system that's been kind of rolling through, driving a lot of severe weather for the last little bit across portions of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. We do actually have a risk for severe weather today across the southeastern United States and as well as portions of the Ohio Valley. You can actually start to see on that last frame here in a second, we are starting to get some convection firing up there across Ohio here, so we'll get more into that here in a minute regarding the severe weather threat overall. But basically, for the most part, we are starting to see this dry air mass working its way in towards a lot of the regions here, which is finally calming things down a little bit here. So let's go ahead and take a look at today's severe weather risk and see what we have in store for us. Alrighty, everybody, so hopping our way over here into the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here for today. We do have ourselves two areas here in the level 2 slight risk here for severe weather. One across portions of southwestern Missouri and northern Arkansas, while the other one here is across eastern North Carolina. Now, we do have a bunch of marginals kind of scattered all over across the United States. One across the Ohio Valley that we were looking at the satellite, as you guys remember, with those storms firing off there. The marginal level 1 severe weather threat up there. We have ourselves northern Florida, southern Georgia in a level 1 as well, and southern Texas overall. Now, whenever it comes to the tornado risk today, we do have ourselves two areas where tornadoes could be possible, mostly here for eastern North Carolina with that 5% risk here across the brown, 2% chance here across the green, and a little risk up here in eastern Ohio and northern West Virginia for today. Now, we work our way over here into the damaging wind threat. We have ourselves a bunch of scattered damaging wind risk here with a 5% chance for gusty winds ranging between 60 and 70 miles an hour overall. And lastly, in terms of hail, we do have ourselves two 15% risk areas here across the slight risk region here for the potential of hail 1 to 2 inches in diameter. The yellow represents a 15% chance, while the brown represents a 5% chance. Alrighty, guys, so now we're working our way over here into the eastern Pacific, where we do have ourselves a disturbance here from the Hurricane Center here. Overall, a 30% chance probability of formation within the next 7 days. We are looking at the potential of a tropical system and maybe even a hurricane here, as the models have been representing the possibility of that occurring. Both the Euro and the GFS have been talking about it for a while now, which we're getting ready to get into, so I can go ahead and show you guys. But as of right now, throughout the next 7 days, there is a 30% chance of formation, while during the next 48 hours or the next 2 days is a 0% chance. So we're not expecting it to develop in the next 2 days, but within the next week, we do have a 30% chance overall. Alright, everybody, so now we're working our way over here into the models here. On the left, you have the American GFS model, and on the right, you have the European ECMWF. Now, we're going to be comparing these models to kind of look and see what they both talk about with this hurricane here. So we're looking at our lower level wind shear here just to kind of see the overall development of this system here. Now, it does look like, as we work our way down in time, that this storm system will develop here right around the later 26th going into the early 27th. And what you're about to see is the GFS model is far more aggressive with this storm system overall. So we work our way well into the 27th going into the 28th. GFS does want a hurricane at this point, while the European model just really kind of shows a disorganized low at the time being here. And as we work our way down further in time, the European model does pick up a little bit of strength once we work our way into the 28th and 29th, while the GFS really still has that storm system potentially being a pretty big hurricane overall. And then, of course, we work our way further down in time. Once we approach our way right around the 30th and 31st, which at this point in time, it's getting a little far out the track, but according to the models here, this is when it does kind of fade out overall. So we'll keep you guys updated over the next couple of days here on the storm system here. But, you know, overall, both the European model and the GFS do support a tropical cyclone here in the eastern Pacific. Also, the Hurricane Center, like we mentioned, does have a risk overall for it. So we'll keep you guys updated on the tropics. All right, so guys, now we're working our way over here back to the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here. Now looking at tomorrow's risk. As you can really see, there's really not much going on here for tomorrow. We do have a level 1 severe weather threat, though, across portions of the east central and southeastern side of Florida here for tomorrow overall. We also do have one up here across the central northern side of Texas, also southern Oklahoma, and a little bit of the southwestern side here of Arkansas. Now, tornado-wise tomorrow, we are not expecting any tornadic activity. Thankfully, we finally have a break regarding tornadic activity. As of now, we're not expecting any of that to occur. Damaging winds, we do have both areas and the 5% risk out there for damaging wind gusts, potentially ranging between 60 and 70 miles an hour. And in terms of hail, they they both do also have a 5% chance out there for hail, regarding the potential here for hail 1 to 2 inches in diameter. Now, lastly, working our way here into the day 3 outlook overall, we do have ourselves a big marginal risk here across portions of Nebraska, going into Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas. We'll definitely need to keep an eye out there for the severe weather here on Friday. And then lastly, we also do have ourselves another marginal risk out there across portions of the eastern side, southeastern side of Florida. So we'll make sure that we keep you guys informed with that as well. Alrighty, everybody. So lastly, we're taking a look here back at the American GFS model here to just kind of look at the long range and see if we have really anything severe that we need to look out for. So as of right now, there is a day here for the 25th that I think we should obviously monitor here. Looking at the GFS, we do build in a pretty good amount of instability here across Oklahoma and Texas. Now, let me note that right now the Storm Prediction Center does not have a risk here for this day overall, but I want to keep an eye out there for this day because according to the model here, we do have a pretty good amount of instability that could be building its way into the region here. And also looking at the lower level wind shear, we do have ourselves a lower level jet here potentially ranging about 20, maybe 30 knots or so, which could be maybe a conditional tornado threat. So we'll have to look into that. So, just a little bit of an early heads up. It doesn't look anything significant as of right now, but, I wouldn't rule out the potential for a little bit of severe weather. You can kind of see that jet stream kind of working its way up here through the plains, in which, overlaying the jet stream and that the fact that we do have a pretty good amount of instability here and also a pretty good amount of moisture here too could indicate a potential tornado threat overall. So we'll keep you guys updated here. If y'all did enjoy this update, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. And alright, my friends, well, you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll catch you guys here in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.